think it started recording. We'll figure it out. So thank you all for joining us. My name is Danica Walker, and I am a PATHe counselor, which stands for Pinellas Access to Higher Education at the University of South Florida St. Petersburg campus. And today we decided to host a workshop for seniors and parents of seniors to discuss options that are available to you currently if you have not decided what you want to do post high school, or if you're a parent, if your child has not decided what you want to do post high school. So today we luckily have a few guest speakers. We have Jovan Jocelyn, don't want to say that incorrectly, from St. Petersburg College. We also have Mr. Carbart, who is a part of the Student Support Services at St. Petersburg College. And then we have Mr. Gandolfo, who is with Pinellas Technical College. In addition to the three of them, we will also talk about 2+2 programs, which are programs that will allow you, or if you're a parent, your child, to start at SPC and then transfer into USF St. Petersburg campus or USF Tampa and Sarasota Manatee. So I am going to, even though he just arrived, turn it over to Mr. Gandolfo.
Okay, hello everybody. Obviously I'm up first, so I haven't done this before, so please bear with me. My name is Mike Gandolfo. I'm the high school recruiter for Pinellas Technical College. For those of you that don't know, Pinellas Technical College, there's 2 campuses, and what we provide is 40 different pathways, 60 different programs on our campuses that students can enter our school and earn a career, a skill or a trade that they can earn in a year or less. There are some that take a little bit longer, but for the most part, we like to say you can earn a career in a year. This is pretty beneficial for a lot of students. Personally, I feel like that it's one of the ways for families that to break that cycle of poverty. When people get into a trade and they start earning a good living, they're not in that mindset of having to work 2 and 3 jobs and not be able to really concentrate on their own children's education. So this is a way that because most people that are blue-collar, hardworking people, they want to make sure that their children are going to have it better than them. So once they're making a decent living in they're this helps them get into that middle class. And some of our courses, we offer web development and computer systems, information technology. Some of them actually, make really good money. So we're talking, so we have welders that go on and get the extra certifications and work on. They can earn a decent living here in the Tampa Bay area, but they can also go out into, if they're interested, in traveling and stuff, and work on, skyscrapers and bridges and stuff, and they make incredible salaries. So it's really an opportunity for people to improve themselves, to get an education, and we are a college. We are a college that you can get financial aid at. We're funded by the state, and so our students, they're there for a year, and a lot of times their financial aid that they qualify for will pay for all, if not most, if not all of their tuition. So it really is a good opportunity for the student who's not sure what it is that they want to do. I always tell my high school students that you have a lot of opportunities. You know, you can go to community college, you can go to university, you can go to the military, you can come to Pinellas Technical College. The one thing you absolutely choice you cannot make and should not make is going to out into the workforce as unskilled labor, basically condemning yourself to minimum wage and low benefits. You know, like any other education, this is a key. It's a key that allows you to make lateral movements as your career goes. So I use myself as an example. I started off as a carpenter, but I didn't have to. When I was ready to go to college, I was able to do so without having to take student loans. I financed my own education, and you know, I was able to go from that into teaching and into you know, various different careers. So it's an opportunity for any student who's not sure, because if you have a skill that people are willing to pay for, then later on, whatever you decide to do, you can still do that part-time, go to school part-time. You have a whole display of choices that you can make in order to achieve your goals. So like I said, we are a college, and the difference between our colleges, the way is basically is how it looks. And if I can share my video, my screen, which I'm. Oh, as I said, college looks a little different at Pinellas Technical College than other colleges.
This is college. College.
This is college.
This is college.
This is college.
This is college. This is college.
This
This
is
is
college.
This is college. This is college.
This is college.
This is college.
This is college. This is college. This is college.
This is college.
This is college.
Was everybody able to hear that?
Yes, we were.
Excellent. Okay. I was under the impression that there would be students here. Is that not the case? Do we have students on this call?
We do have, I think, 4 participants, but I'm not sure if they are students or parents.
Okay. All right. So. Not sure how. Here we are. Okay. Does anybody have any questions at all about Pinellas Technical College?
Can you explain how an interested student can apply?
Oh, absolutely, yes. So, as I said, I'm the high school recruiter, so I'm the person that our high school. I visit all the high schools, and the high school students contact me. I have my contact information that I can share with everybody. the students that apply, the first thing I try to do is to get them to come for a tour. Now the COVID has made it difficult to have large tours, but I still do tours with a student and a parent. And in fact, I think we just got the nod that we're going to start making those tours a lot more often. I've been scheduling them and having the instructors speak with the students, because we want the students to come out. We want them to see the programs that they're going to be in. We want them to talk to the instructors. The instructors are not interviewing the students. It's the students that are interviewing our instructors, because we want to make sure that it's going to be a good fit. That this is what our students are going to be successful at, and because once they're in and once they are, they've applied, they go through the same processes of any other school. They fill out their FAFSA. They'll know exactly how much financial aid they qualify for. We have enrollment periods four times throughout the year. So if you miss one, there's another one just a few months later, because we try to keep our classes at a certain number. We want to have that one-on-one, because a lot of of what we do is hands-on. The kids are actually doing the work and doing the learning by doing. It's important that we don't have overcrowded classes. In our area, that could be dangerous. So we try to keep them small. There's depending on which program it is. It could be as small as 10 people. It could be more, but we try to keep it small so that everybody's getting that individualized attention. So it is a big advantage. One of the things about Pinellas Technical College that's great is that employers are constantly looking and advertising for help. And because of a lot of our programs, we're early. We start at like 7, and by 12:15 classes are done for the day, Monday through Friday. A lot of our students are getting jobs in their fields and getting hired full-time even before they even graduate. There's always a job waiting for them. We have some of our programs that are 95+% job placement. Others are a little less, but for the most part, if you spend the time to learn the trade or the skill that you're learning at Pinellas Technical College, there's somebody out there that will hire you. There's somebody that wants, because what's happened over the past 20 years or so is that there's been this big push to have every kid college ready and push kids into college. And what it's done is it's basically cheapened college a little bit, because now everybody, there was so many kids with a degree and nobody going into the trades. And now in the trades, you have people that are basically, nearing retirement and nobody to take their place. So that's forcing employers to compete for the few students that are out there. And so they're increasing their salaries, they're increasing salaries and increasing benefits. So it's a pretty exciting time to get into something, a trade or a skill like we offer here at Pinellas Technical College. But the students, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, sorry, we had another question as well.
Sure.
The next question is, could you name perhaps the top 5 most popular programs that Pinellas Technical College offers?
I would say that the welding and the electrical are and the automotive are the top 3. there are the practical nursing is also big. And of course, especially here in Florida with our aging population, nurses have absolutely no problem getting a job. So those are definitely ones that, if you go in, you'll be hired like as soon as you get out. But we also have others that are very popular. We have diesel. I had a student that went into our dual enrollment program when he was in 11th grade at the Needham High School. And, what would happen is the bus would pick him up in the morning and take him to Pinellas Technical College. He would be there for a couple hours, and then he would go, the bus would take him to his high school. The transportation was free. The tuition was free. The books, everything is free when you're in dual enrollment, and so he was able to knock out about almost 80% of in those 2 years in 11th and 12th grade. So when he was done, he had with high school, and he graduated high school. He only had to finish about 20% of the course, and so before his 20th birthday. He was working for the Tampa bus company, whatever it's called. I forget the transportation, the bus company anyway. And he had a good job. He was making decent money, and he comes back and visits us every once in a while, and he's extremely happy. And he did it at a really young age, and he took advantage of the dual enrollment program because that's basically getting your college education while you're in high school. So you save money and you save time.
And can you also share your contact information if anyone has additional questions for you?
Absolutely. Is that up on the screen now?
Yes, it is. Thank you.
More than happy to take anybody if they're interested in any particular program, or if they just want to come see the campus. That's what I do. I'm happy to do it. Just give me a call.
Thank you so much for sharing all of this information with us.
My pleasure.
So next we're going to have Jovan Jocelyn, who is from St. Petersburg College, share some information as well.
Thank you. Give me a few moments to share my screen.
Oh, Mr. Gandolfo, you have to stop sharing your screen.
Yeah.
It's the X in the middle.
All right. Good evening, everyone. My name is Jovan Jocelyn. I go by Joe for short, and I'm an admissions recruiter at St. Petersburg College. Tonight, I'm going to be going over the college offerings that we have for our Pinellas County High School students. So what do we have? We have certificates, which are basically short-term trainings that will prepare you for the work field. You can also obtain a certificate if you're already in the work field and you would like to add some additional skills to your, under your belt. We have our AS degrees. This is a degree that is an associate's in science that's going to be just under 3 years that will allow you to go straight into the workforce. So it's going to be 36 general education credits, as well as some electives that are going to be focused in that particular area so that you can go straight into the workforce. Now, we also have our AA degree. This is SPC's bread and butter. You're going to be starting with us and then going on to some other institution, most likely a university. So it'll be the same 36 general education credits and then some credits and electives to prepare you for whatever program you're going on to at that other institution. We also have baccalaureate degrees at St. Petersburg College now. We were one of the first colleges in the state of Florida to offer baccalaureate degrees. So that is something that we're very proud of. So you can not only start with SPC, but you can also finish with us as well. Now, one of the major selling points of St. Petersburg College is the cost of tuition. Our credit hour is $111.75, which means you can complete a class at about $340. Now, you can complete an entire AA degree for just under $7,000. A lot of people in the United States are dealing with college debt. So if this is something that you would like to save yourself from the stress of in future years, this is a great opportunity for you to save yourself and your family a lot of bucks. Right. Now, there's a lot of ways that you could spend less and earn more at St. Petersburg College. So if you've earned any industry certifications, if you have any prior military training, that's something that could transfer over to SPC for college credits. Now, more specifically, our high school students, if you are a part of any of the high school academies, I know Hollins High School has the Culinary Academy. If you're a part of any of those and got any certificates, or you have those classes under your belt, a lot of that can transfer over into college credits. Now, also, we just had a gentleman speak on PTC. If you attend PTC or any other vocational school, you can take those credits and transfer them to St. Petersburg College. Now, while we're on the subject of spending less and earning more, let's go ahead and touch on scholarships. So there's many scholarship opportunities out in the general outside of St. Petersburg College that you can obtain. Like, for example, I know McDonald's has one, Pinellas County might have some as well, but we also have our in-house scholarships. We have something called our foundation scholarships that all you would need to do is apply one time, and you would get all of the scholarships that you qualify for. And what I mean by that is, let's say they have a scholarship under our foundations for people who are under 25. And let's say they also have another scholarship for any minorities. If you meet both qualifications, you will get both of those scholarships after only applying one time to the foundation scholarship. So it's only accessible to students who are SPC students. So you won't be able to access it if you're not a current student. But once you are a current student, you can go onto your SPC portal, look up foundation scholarships, and apply. So please take advantage of that if you become an SPC student. We also have very flexible scheduling options. If you would like to earn a degree 100% from the comfort of your own home, that is something that you can do at St. Petersburg College. Now, we have been #1 in the state of Florida in online learning for a long time now. So this is not something new to us with the whole COVID epidemic. So if you're uncomfortable with being in class, in person, then you can do your college education 100% from the comfort of your home. Now, if you're one of the people who would prefer to be on campus and in class, we also have those offerings as well. And we have St. Petersburg College campuses all throughout Pinellas County. So no matter where you may be located in Pinellas County, there's a campus for you. Now, we also offer weekend college. Weekend college is an opportunity for those who may be too busy during the week. Say after high school, you want to go out and work full time and help out mom and dad at home, or you would like to move out and you're working full time and you're trying to pay bills on your own. So rather than going to school during the week, we have weekend college where you can earn up to an AA or an AS degree 100% on the weekend. We also have our normal semesters that can be broken down into different segments. We have our normal 16-week semesters during our fall and spring term and our 10-week summer term. But during our normal 16-week semester, you can also get our express courses. They are 12 weeks. They are normally 2 weeks after the normal start of the semester and end 2 weeks before the normal end of the 16-week semester. We also have our 8-week courses where you can take a class in the first 8 weeks. And we also have a second 8-week course that you can take at the second 8 weeks of that normal 16-week semester. Now, that may sound a little confusing, but I'm going to break down the advantages. So let's say you would like to take 4 classes this semester, this upcoming semester. You can do 2 in the first 8 weeks, and you can do 2 in the second 8 weeks, but only have to focus on those 2 at a time. So at the end of the 16-week semester, you would have earned credits for 4 classes, but only have to focus on 2 at a time. All right. Moving on to how we're focused to your success at St. Petersburg College. So we have assigned academic advisor models at St. Petersburg College, which means all of your advisors will be assigned based on your academic community. So let's say you're going into business and a friend of yours is going into a health-related field. You will have different advisors, and those advisors are going to focus in that particular area. So where that benefits you is that if you are in this program for business, this advisor is going to know all of the issues that the students in the business programs typically deal with, and they're going to know how to best advise you within your particular situation. So that's our assigned academic advisor model. We also have free tutoring on each of our campuses at St. Petersburg College. But obviously, if you're working from home, we offer online tutoring. So if you're working on a project or you're working on a class assignment and you need some help, you can log on and you can get that help that you need right then and there on the spot. We also have personalized academic pathways. And what that means is that each program at St. Petersburg College is going to be aligned with a career or job when you're done. We don't want to set you up for failure where you're just going to college for nothing. So our personalized academic pathway is going to make sure that your program plan is also going to complete with a potential job or career when you're done. Speaking of careers, we have our career services team at St. Petersburg College that is going to help you with preparing resumes, going to help you with mock interviews so you're prepared to go into a place of employment and interview. And they are going to also help out with those internships that we all know turn into jobs. So why that's important is because it's a wonderful thing to graduate from college, make your family proud, walk across that stage, but not if you're just going to walk across that stage and go sit in front of a TV 24 hours a day every day. Right? So our career services team is going to prepare you for getting a career once you're done at St. Petersburg College. Last but not least, I want to talk about the club and organizational experience at St. Petersburg College. So the great thing at SPC is that you can join a club or organization. This will gain you some of the leadership and fiscal skills that employers are looking for. So when you go out into the workforce, that's not the time to best build your fiscal skills and your leadership skills. That's the time to have them and execute them, right? So you can join a club or organization at SPC, let's say the Student Government Association, where they have a decently sized budget, and you can start to make decisions and you can allocate those different funds into different places. You can also build those leadership skills with being a student leader. So when you walk into that place of employment and you're interviewing, they can look on your resume and say, oh, I see that you were a part of the Student Government Association and you dealt with a budget of over $30,000. That's going to go a long way when you walk into an interview, right? Moving on. Now, earlier I touched on our Associates in Science degrees. Now, I have listed here many of the degrees that we offer, but I just wanted to focus on a few. I've highlighted in red some of the programs that I call the 50+ programs. Now, what that means is that you can graduate from these particular programs highlighted in red, and you can make over $50,000 when you go into the work field. Now, we have a lot of students who may not see themselves going to school for 4 years. So if you would like to get an education in under 3 years and make over 50 grand, that is possible at St. Petersburg College with our AS degrees. Now to touch on our baccalaureate degrees, we have many, but there is just a few that I would like to focus on. I want to focus on the College of Education. And the reason why I want to focus on it is because in the state of Florida, we are in high need of educators. So obviously, because of the need, they have offered some scholarships for those who would like to go into education. Now, aside from education, we have a plethora of other programs here. One that I just want to highlight just out of the blue is the Technology Development and Management degree. The reason why I want to highlight that is because a lot of people are going into cybersecurity. You can get a degree in technology development and management with a focus in cybersecurity, have a bachelor's degree, and make buku dinero. So just an idea of some of the ways that you could start with SPC and finish with our baccalaureate programs. Now, this is an articulation program called FUSE. This is where you can start with St. Petersburg College and get guaranteed admission into USF, into any one of these programs. So obviously the program offerings are limited, but as long as you have an interest in any one of these programs, all you would need to do is indicate to your advisor that you would like to be part of the FUSE program, and you would have to indicate that within under 30 credits. All right. We also have the same deal with FAMU with our Ignite program. So if you would like to become any one of these areas, you would do the same thing and indicate to your advisor that you would like to be a part of the Ignite program. The only difference between this and FUSE is that you can indicate that you would like to be an Ignite student up to 6 credits away from graduating. It doesn't matter when you indicate that you would like to be an Ignite student, even if you're just about to graduate, tell your advisor and you can have guaranteed admission into FAMU. Now, both with the FUSE and Ignite program, it's kind of like a dual enrollment type of situation where you'll have access to the other institutions' facilities, their advisors, and you can even attend their events. So these are great articulation programs where you can get guaranteed admission into either FAMU or USF. Now, how would you start at SPC? It's very simple. We have an online process that takes just about 15 minutes. It does come with a $40 application fee, but we have many events where we waive the application fee, one which I'll tell you about in just a few. Now, if you fill out the application and it says you're already a student, you probably signed up for dual enrollment at some point. Now, whether you've signed up for dual enrollment and taken classes or signed up and never taken classes, you would still need to go through the supplemental application process. After you've applied to SPC, whether through the supplemental application or the general app, you would then need to wait until graduation and request your official copy of your high school transcripts, apply for financial aid, and meet with an advisor to determine where you would need to start with SPC. Now, if you've taken the ACT or SAT in high school, those can be used to determine whether you're ready for college level courses or not. But if not, you can take the PERT test with SPC. Now, just a second ago, I mentioned events that we have where we waive the application fee. This is one of them. We have our Explore SPC week coming up. May 4th is going to be the kickoff from 6 to 8. We're going to have our Explore event where you can explore the different programs that we offer at SPC. So we're going to have different breakout sessions where you can step in and you can ask all of the questions that you have about the programs that you're interested in. The following day, May 5th, we're going to have our application workshops. So if you've ever started the application process and got caught up with anything, this is going to be a workshop where we can walk you through step by step all of the things that you would encounter during the application. Now, if you submit your application May 5th, we will waive the application fee. Now, what they are not advertising, but that I am telling you, is that if you apply anytime between May 5th and May 9th, we're going to waive the application fee. If you just can't get to it May 5th, please, any day that you can do so before Sunday night at midnight, please submit your SPC application and get your application fee waived. All right. I'm going to send you guys my Cash App so you guys can send me a tip for that help right there. So a little bit about the Summer Bridge program. This is a college readiness program. If you just feel like you're just not ready for college yet, you're a little apprehensive about it, we have a program for underrepresented males graduating from high school in 2021. This is just going to get you ready for college. We offer a few free courses at SPC to help prepare you for college. It's going to be a 6-week program from June 14th to July 23rd. And they're also going to explore in-demand career fields within the program as well. So many benefits and opportunities going on with SPC. That concludes my time. We do have a Q&A coming up later, so I'm going to respect the time of everyone and do the Q&A later. But I would like to put in my contact information in the chat, but I also will let everybody know who's going to be watching this on YouTube that my contact information is 727-341-3404. You can also email me at jocelyn.joven@spcollege.edu, which is JOCELYN.JOVEN@spcollegE.edu. Thank you for your time. I wish everyone all the best.
Thank you so much, Joven. And now we will have Mr. Carbart.
Okay, good evening, everyone. I think we're going to, let me see which one. Okay, we're going to go to our Summer of Success program first. Just wanted to tell you a little bit about this program. It's, again, is one of the programs that we offer here at the college. We've been offering this program for over 20 some odd years here. And the Summer Success program is primarily what I call an appetizer to college. It gives students an opportunity to literally sample college at free of cost to you. That particular program, obviously, is going to also pay for your tuition. It covers your books and fees and other things of that nature. So all of those things are taken care of. The program starts on June 14th, and it runs all the way until July the 23rd of this year. We are going to be located as far as applying. Let me talk a little bit about that and what those steps are, along with what you're going to be receiving. That would be from a point of, I don't know if there's a way for you to blow it up a little bit so they can see it, but it's going to deal primarily with our college credits. You're going to get credit for would be a computer literacy course. There's going to be a speech course as well, and a Smart Start orientation will be there also. So students are going to be getting that information by being a part of that 6-week program from that point. Also, applying for the program itself, there's a website over to the far left as far right is concerned as far as applying. You can just simply go to a website, www.spcollege.edu/SOS, and the information is right there. It's a free application process. You would just simply fill that information out, save it to your desktop, and send it and forward it on to me. We have right now, that program is located on 5 campuses. We have it at the 5 campuses you see there: the Clearwater campus, the St. Pete Gibbs campus, Seminole, Tarpon Springs, as well as Midtown. Someone always asks me, what's the good and the bad about this program? I said, well, everything is good, but unfortunately, we've got a limited amount of students that we can bring in. So guys, if you are interested in this program, I encourage you today or tomorrow to please to go out to the website and apply immediately, because we have about 20 spots available per campus, and we're talking about 100 students primarily allowed into this particular program. And just to summarize this up again, this is simply a summer program just for that period of time. I have any questions on the Summer Success program before I move on to our year-round program, which is Student Support Services? Okay, if not, the information is there. Please go to our website as well as phone numbers. You can call individuals and get other information that you might need. If we can go to the Student Support Services application. Here's another program at the college in which I'm in charge of as well. This is more or less a year-round program for the entire time that you're in school here at the college. And our primary goals is to help and assist students stay in school and graduate. And it's called the Student Support Services Program. It's primarily it's a federally funded program through the Department of Education out of Washington, D.C., who basically gives us monies to be able to operate this particular program. On the far left-hand side, it kind of gives you some indication of certain things that we offer our students who are involved in our program. We have a textbook lending program where if you can't afford the textbooks, we will basically try to help lend you 1 or 2 of the books you may need. We have free tutoring that's available. We have what's also called, you're being assigned an academic advisor. By being a part of our program, you will have someone who's going to be with you from the start of the program, start of the college at St. Pete College, until you end from that point. Transfer assistance. If you're looking at coming here, earning your AA or AS degree, and you want to transfer to another institution, our staff is certainly here to help you do exactly that, even if it means transferring into our own bachelor's degree programs here at St. Petersburg College. We also take students on what's called a 4-year college tour. You may say, well, what is that? That's before the pandemic, where we had opportunities to put students on buses and vans, and we would take them to such schools as Florida A&M, Florida State, University of Florida, University of Miami, University of Central Florida, just to give you an idea, give you some exposure to other 4-year colleges and universities. Also, there's seminars and workshops that's available to all of our students who are in the program. We also have scholarships that's available. I know earlier we had talked a little bit about different forms of scholarships. We have those within our programs for those students who are certainly eligible for that. And then 2 other things that's there as well that you don't see. One is called cultural events. This is where we also take students around the Tampa Bay area and introduce them to different types of cultural events and activities. Give you some examples. The Salvador Dali Museum, we take a group of students there every year. We've gone to the Florida Aquarium, the Lowry Park Zoo, different types of museums and art exhibits and things of that nature. So that's also available for students that are in our program. And something we added this past year that's not on this list that you can make a mental note is what we call a laptop lending program, where we will also lend out laptops to some of our students who may need that digital help at home during this time of period. So those are some of the things we offer our students. Those things are free of charge for our students. I encourage you to go to the website that you see there to apply. Now, applying for that program primarily takes place in late July, early August. We only bring students in once a year, so it's primarily in the fall. This program of student support services is only offered on 2 campuses at St. Petersburg College currently. It's at the Clearwater campus. So if you're anywhere near Drew Street and like to attend there, that's the information you want to look at. And if you're in St. Petersburg and you want to look at the St. Pete Gibbs campus, there's the information, there's the phone number to call as well. As far as qualifications, how do I qualify, or am I qualified to even be a member of the Student Support Services? First, you need to be one of the things that I'm going to cover is either one, you are going to be eligible for the program. First generational students, being the first person in your family to have not only have gone off to college, but most importantly, who have graduated from college. Pell Grant eligibility. If you are applying and you're eligible for Pell Grant, you're eligible for our particular program. Disabilities. Students with disabilities are also eligible for our program. We also look at students maintaining and trying to keep a minimum of a 2.0 or higher GPA of our program, and obviously being a United States citizen or permanent resident will qualify you for our program. Are there any questions for me regarding the Student Support Services program or the Summer of Success program? Okay, if not, this information you guys have, please feel free to reach out to us regards to phone numbers and the websites, and I look forward to doing what we can help you get involved in Summer of Success or Student Support Services program at St. Petersburg College. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Harbart. Okay, and so next we will have a PATHe counselor. Her name is Charlene Ajman, who will also talk about the PATHe 2+2 program.
Thank you. Like Danica mentioned, I am a PATHe counselor as well. My name is Charlene Ajman, and I'm going to share a little bit about what PATHe can do for you now, and then also about our 2+2 program. So PATHe, as she mentioned earlier, stands for the Pinellas Access to Higher Education. And give me a moment so I can share my screen and you can see the presentation as well. Can you see it? Awesome. Okay, so like I had mentioned, PATHe stands for the Pinellas Access to Higher Education. And we are a collaborative effort between the University of South Florida as well as St. Petersburg College. And what our mission and our vision is to really help the residents of Pinellas County get access to higher education, especially after high school. So our mission, like I mentioned, provide equitable, flexible, and attainable ways to promote higher access to education. And then we want to really increase the number of students who are actually getting post-secondary degrees and other credentials in Pinellas County. So really we want to set people in the county up for economic mobility, fitting those skill gaps, meeting the workforce needs, and really just improving the overall economic health here in Pinellas. So PATHe as a whole, I like to call it like a key to success. I like to think of us as a Google to helping you get to where you would like to go in terms of post-secondary education. So we know that going and planning for college can be a little bit daunting, but we really are here to help you navigate through this time. And so we offer a few things, and I'll go a little bit more into our 2+2 program, but outside of that, we still can do a lot for you right now as you are planning what you're doing after high school. So we can do individual meetings, we will meet with you one-on-one or with your family. We have PATHe-sponsored workshops and activities like this one here that will help you get to some resources or learn information about the institutions that we have here that are represented today. We can help you with college and career planning as well, finding different financial aid and scholarship resources, as well as finding something that will fit for you. So that's just what we can do for you currently. But we also have a 2+2 program between St. Petersburg College and the University of South Florida, St. Petersburg campus specifically. So we help students who would like to get their bachelor's degree, get a degree before, and something like what we call stackable credentials, be able to set themselves up more for success. So to join the 2+2 program, you would start at St. Petersburg College, complete an AA degree, but it is not mandatory that you do that if you are part of the 2+2 program that we have. And the great part of that is that the students who are within this program not only get the support and the resources that are offered at St. Petersburg College, but they also get access to some of that same support and research that students at USF St. Petersburg campus would have while they are at SPC. So really, it is a great program to help students not only get the best of their experience at St. Petersburg College, but at USF St. Petersburg campus as they're making their way through. Again, I like to mention that just because you are in a 2+2 program with PATHe, unlike FUSE, it may not be guaranteed that you get admission, but working with the PATHe program and the PATHe counselors, we really try our best to make sure that you are prepared and ready to make that seamless transition from one institution to the next. Just a little bit more, these are our PATHe counselors. They really, myself, Danica, and Sandy, and our contact information is here as well. Please take this down at any time. We are here to help you not only navigate, whether you want to attend SPC or University of South Florida, St. Petersburg campus, but if you just want to just find resource to find the best thing for you after high school. We really are a resource. So please, I'd like to stress this. Do not hesitate to reach out to us, even if you have questions that are not related to any of the institutions that are even represented here today. They are really great, and but after this, you can always connect with us, not only by using our phone numbers or emails, but you can follow us on Instagram. Our handle is planyourpath. That's plan_your_path. And then you can always visit our website that has access to not only information about the PATHe program, but other resources that you could use for various steps, not only as a senior, but if you have any friends or family who are in high school, we have resources tailored to their specific grade level as well. So visit our website, stpetersburg.usf.edu/PATHe. That's really quickly a little bit about PATHe. I'm going to turn it back over to Danica.
Thank you so much, Charlene. I am going to open it up right now for any questions that you all may have for Charlene, Mr. Gandolfo, or for Joven. So if you all have any questions, please feel free to either put them in the chat or you can ask them at this time. And if not, we will go into our next portion. Okay, I see a question coming. Okay, we have a question for Mr. Gandolfo. What are some of the top earning programs offered? And then the next question is anything that helps towards law enforcement.
We don't have anything that is connected with law enforcement. We do have an EMT program down in on our St. Pete campus. As far as top earners, from my research, the web development and the CSIT program offer a very small investment in time and money and the potential to make six-figure salaries. But you know, again, it depends on you know, a lot of our students get hired into entry level, and it's up to them how they progress. There are welders that make six-figure salaries, and there are welders that make a modest living. There are electricians that go into their own business and make really good money. And you know, it all depends on your particular motivation.
Thank you. And Joven, are there any programs that are offered at SPC that would go towards law enforcement?
Yes, we do. We have our Law Enforcement Academy, but we also have other things like our degrees in criminology. We also have the crime scene technology certificate that is beneficial to those who would like to investigate crime scenes. So that's all under law enforcement. Yeah. And our public safety administration degrees as well. If you would like to be more so on the administrative side, that's something that you can look into as well. So if you guys have any questions, please reach out to me at the contact information that I have within the chat.
Thank you. And I see one more question coming in. And then the next question is there anything at SPC that lends itself to a pharmacy degree?
So yes, when it comes to pharmacy, you can do the AA transfer plan with St. Petersburg College. So we don't have the pharmacy program at SPC, but what you can do is you can start with us and save yourself that much more money. So let's say you're going to be transferring to USF or FAMU or a program like that. You can start with SPC, do your first 2 years, and save yourself and your family that much more money. So yes, we do have the program, just we don't have the entire program. You can do the first half with us, get your AA degree with us, and then transfer over to another institution.
And which AA track would that be?
It's going to be for pharmacy. It's going to be for pharmacy, yes.
I'll share the link to that specific track in the chat.
Oh, thank you.
No problem. Okay, and so now we're going to turn it over to Sandy DiCarlo, who is also a PATHe counselor, and she'll be talking a little bit about financial aid and FAFSA.
Thanks, Danica. Get my screen shared. I get to share all the money issue with you. So we're gonna, when it comes to financing for college, there's a lot to it. So I'm gonna cover some of the basics, and then I will answer questions that you may have. Share my screen. Okay, so money is usually definitely on people's minds when you're thinking about college, and it really doesn't matter if we're talking about a technical school or 2-year school or 4-year university, graduate school, they all have price tags with it. So we wanted to give you some overall financial aid information. So first of all, what is financial aid? Financial aid is a term that is used for any funding that helps you towards education. All right, financial aid or financial assistance covers education expenses, including tuition and fees, room and board, books and supplies, transportation, all the costs that are involved in attending higher education. There are several types of financial aid. Grants, scholarships, work study, loans are all considered types of financial aid. So how do you receive financial aid? The first step is typically to apply for the FAFSA. Now, FAFSA stands for the Free Application for Federal Student Aid. The FAFSA application opens October 1st of your senior year in high school. So anytime after October 1st, you can go in and complete the FAFSA. Once you've completed your FAFSA, you want to do so every year that you're going to continue to go to school. So you're going to update it every year. Your college uses the FAFSA to determine your federal aid eligibility, and that would be grants, loans, and scholarships that are coming from the federal government. But then many states and individual institutions will also look at that information to determine any eligibility towards their own aid. It's important to note that there may be other applications or additional things involved for that state and that local aid as well. So first step in applying for a FAFSA is you create this federal ID. Now, for any student under 24, and typically most early college students are under 24, you have to create an ID for yourself as well as your parent or guardian. Because if you're under the age of 24, you are considered a dependent to your parent or guardian. So they have to sign the application as well. So one for the student, one for the parent. Make sure you use different emails. If you try to sign them both up under the same email, it's going to get caught in the system and it's going to identify you as the same person. Make sure your information is correct, because it is challenging to go back in and change it. You can, but if you just take it slow, and then make sure you write down your password. Now you'll create a password for both the parent and guardian and the student, but this is information you're going to use each year to go back in and update your FAFSA. So in order to apply for the FAFSA, you need certain items. So you'll need your social security number, your parent or guardian's social security number. It will be your driver's license number, alien registration number if you're not a US citizen, and then the federal tax information for 2 years prior to when you're completing the FAFSA. So let me explain that. So a lot of times schools will use the term prior year, which means 2 years previous to when you're filling out the FAFSA. So if you were a high school senior going in to fill out the FAFSA today, you are filling out a FAFSA for the 2021-2022 school year, which starts in the fall. So you would actually be using your tax records from 2019, 2 years prior, to fill that out. And the reason they did that, if you have older brothers or sisters, or maybe your parents said, no, it's always the year prior. It used to be. And then several years ago, they bumped it to 2 years prior just to assure that everyone had their tax information filed and it didn't jeopardize anyone who maybe was filling out their tax information late. So it's 2 years prior. So you're going to need your IRS form. Now the FAFSA now has a link based on how you did your taxes and what forms you used. You may be able to just click a link and automatically pull that information from the IRS. So if you're able to do that, that's really the easiest way to do it. And it also verifies itself as information because you're pulling it from the source. So if you can do that, that's fine. But if not, you will need a copy of your 1040 or whatever forms you use to do your taxes. Records of any untaxed income, and then information on your accounts. Now, There is a lot of people hold off applying for FAFSA. Perhaps they have a 2-income family and they feel like their income is too high to qualify for anything. We recommend that everybody complete their FAFSA, because even if you do not qualify for funds directly from the federal government, there are many other scholarship opportunities at the school level and the state level that only require that you've completed this application. It doesn't mean you have to qualify for federal aid, but you have to complete that application in order to qualify for other aid. So we highly recommend that everyone fills out a FAFSA every year. Once you're done filling out the FAFSA, you make sure that it's signed and submitted. A lot of people just forget those last couple of steps. And then electronically, you're going to be sent something called your EFC, and that's your expected family income. That's basically an index to which many funding sources is going to determine how much aid that you qualify for. They'll give you an estimate of the grants and the loans that you may qualify for. And then usually it takes, it says here 3 to 5 days. It depends on how busy the season is, but then you'll receive a full student aid report giving you an idea on what type of aid you would be qualified for from the federal government. Next, the school that you've listed on your FAFSA will receive that information. So you can actually list, I believe, up to 10 schools on your FAFSA. It is not committing you to those schools. It's just going to allow that school to access your FAFSA information should you decide to attend there. So at the end of the FAFSA, it'll list any school that you're thinking of going to. So all the schools that were represented tonight, you could add them on there. If there are universities you're planning to go to, you can add them on as well. Again, it does not commit you to the institution. It'll just give them permission to view your information should you decide to attend. So the student, the school will then look at what your EFC was from that report, and the initial award is based on the cost of attendance at that institution minus what the expected family contribution is to determine how much funding you may be awarded from the school. Now, there are different types of financial aid. So there are grants, scholarships, federal work study, and loans. And I just want to share a little bit about what kind of aid they are. Grants and scholarships are known as gift aid. You do not have to pay those back. Grants from the FAFSA, you may be awarded a Pell Grant, which is an entitlement. Regardless of any school deadline for the application, the student will receive it. So a Pell Grant is a federal grant that is given based on your income level. Scholarships do not have to be paid back either. Now, they may be based on certain criteria. You may be given a scholarship based on your academic level. There may be criteria that you have to meet in order to keep getting the scholarship. So whenever you're given a scholarship, you definitely want to read through the fine print and find out what it is you need to do to continue getting it or to possibly keep getting it semester after semester. Some scholarships will continue to be offered as long as you meet a certain GPA level, possibly complete a certain number of credits. So you definitely want to know what basically what the information is in order for you to keep your scholarships. Now, federal work study is basically working at the school, but they're using federal funds in order to give you your hourly pay. So it's a need-based award, so there has to show some sort of need from your FAFSA application, but it allows students to work on campus, and those jobs are typically offered within your class schedule. So it's really nice to have a work study job on campus because your employer is going to be very cognizant of your academics. Typically, if it's a slow time, they encourage you to use that time to study and work on your academics. Commonly, you do not work during finals week or midterm week. And it's just, again, a set hourly wage that typically a federal work-study job is around 20 hours a week, but it could vary based on the job. And the funding comes from the federal government through the school to pay that hourly wage. Does not count against the expected family's income. And then loans are money that you do have to pay back. There are subsidized loans and unsubsidized loans. So again, you want to read the fine print, you want to know exactly what you're committing to. A subsidized loan is where the government is actually going to take care of the interest as long as you are enrolled in school with at least 2 classes. Once you go beyond 6 months and not being enrolled, then your loans will become due. You'll have to start paying them back and they will start accruing interest. An unsubsidized loan will accrue interest as soon as the funding is dispersed. So again, you want to know about the different kinds of loans. And then there are federal loans that can be offered by the FAFSA application, and there are also private loans that are offered in the community, possibly from your bank or your credit union. I also wanted to touch on just scholarship opportunities outside of the FAFSA. So there may be scholarships that you are offered based on that federal application, but there are a lot of scholarship opportunities in the community from the institution. Did not use a very good color in this. I'm going to share this website, the Pinellas County School website, which is basically www.pcsb.org/financial aid, has a wealth of information. Pinellas County Schools does a great job on one site of linking you to a lot of scholarship opportunities and all kinds of information on state, local. There are links direct to the FAFSA from this page as well. There's a scholarship opportunity list that is updated every month, and I'm going to show you that tonight before we're done as well. So it has scholarship opportunities, Bright Futures information, information on Pinellas Education Foundation, and also lists several scholarship search engines. Now, Jovan mentioned earlier the St. Petersburg College Foundation. There's also a Pinellas Education Foundation. Anytime you hear the word foundation, typically it is a philanthropic group which is raising funds to support students for a good cause. So any education foundation is typically offering scholarships for students who want to go into higher education. Now, there are many different types of scholarships. A lot of people think that they are only based on your academics, but there are so many more types. So there are need-based scholarships. A need-based scholarship is awarded based on the student and the student's family financial need. So that's typically income-based and based on asset level and things like that. Merit-based scholarships are based on the student's academic records or perhaps some sort of extraordinary achievements, maybe through sports or extracurricular activities or some type of honor system. Student-based, these are based on distinct features or talents of the student. So it may be based on your nationality or your gender or your religion or your involvement in a certain program, or perhaps you're a customer to a certain business or a member of a certain church. It really is very individual, and any institution or person or company that wants to offer scholarship, they can determine what the criteria is. So it's student-based. Would be something I know a lot of people talk about, oh, a left-handed scholarship, things like that. So if I am offering money for scholarship, I can determine what that criteria is. And there's a lot of really interesting individual scholarships out there. And then there's institution-based. Again, Jovan mentioned SPC has a lot of foundation scholarships. These funds are typically set up by the individual schools, and the students typically have to be admitted into the school for the school to assess their FAFSA and see what that institution will offer them. So it's usually kind of a step 2 after completing the FAFSA. and being admitted into the school. I guess that would make it step 3. I want to touch a little bit on Florida Bright Futures. Again, I do not work for Pinellas County Schools, so I'm not the expert, but I do want to give you kind of an overall sense of Bright Futures. So there are 4 different award levels. Florida Academic Scholars is the highest at this point and pays 100% tuition. Florida Medallion Scholars is the next level and pays 75% of tuition. And then there are 2 levels that involve that your child or you have gone through some sort of vocational training at the high school. Florida Gold Seal CAPE and then Florida Gold Seal Vocational. So a CAPE is basically a certain certification that's been completed in the high school, and they're called CAPE certifications. And they're just high demand certifications that are being offered at the high school right now. And then a Gold Seal Vocational requires that your child has completed a series of classes in some sort of technical or vocational trade. Each scholarship has a very specific criteria, including coursework, GPA requirements, test scores, and community service hours. So there's quite a bit of criteria that you need in order to qualify for the Bright Futures. The general requirements are that you have to be a Florida resident and a U.S. citizen or an eligible non-citizen. You have to complete the Florida financial aid application, which is different from the FAFSA. This is a state-based application, and it has to be done no later than August after graduation. So this isn't something you can go back and apply after you're already starting at college. You have to apply for this during your senior year. You have to earn a standard high school diploma or its equivalent from a Florida public high school, or a registered private high school, or complete a homeschool program. But basically you have to have met your high school completion criteria. You cannot have been found guilty of or pled nolo to any felony charge unless the student has been granted clemency. You have to be accepted by and enroll in a degree or a certificate program at an eligible Florida institution and be enrolled for at least 6 non-remedial semester credit hours. Now, remedial hours are classes that are offered in college that do not earn you college credit. They're basically preparing you for the college credit level. So you have to be in at least 6 credit hours, which is typically 2 classes, at the college level. If not funded in the academic year immediately following high school graduation, you apply within 2 years of high school graduation to have your award reinstated. So even if your plans to go to the military, perhaps you're going to work and you're thinking, oh, I don't need this Bright Futures now. If you meet the criteria, I highly recommend that you go in and you apply for it. It gives you that 2-year window to be able to have it reinstated if you decide that you're going to do something else first. But keep in mind, any higher education, almost every higher education institution will take the Bright Futures funding. Before I open to questions, I just wanted to show you that website. Okay, so this is the website, and Danica added it to the chat. Again, they do a really great job of listing scholarship opportunities. There's a link for information for scholarships for undocumented students. There's there's some little videos there that talk about Bright Futures, and there's a Bright Futures handbook that gets into much more detail with Bright Futures than I'm sharing with you tonight. If you're interested in Bright Futures, I highly recommend you contact the high school guidance counselor where you're attending school, and then they will go over exactly point for point what you need for Bright Futures. There's a link directly to the Florida grant application, which is what you need to complete for Bright Futures. There's the education website, all kinds of FAFSA information, but I think their best site is this very first link here for scholarship opportunities. So We didn't ask who's in the audience today, but we did roll this out for seniors right now. And I just want to show you there are a lot of senior opportunities for scholarships right now on this website. The Achieve a Credit Union scholarship just opened up, so that's a new scholarship. Actually, there's a couple Achieve a Credit Union, Amaze Yourself scholarship. So right here tells you what grade it's open to. And keep in mind, if it lists 12 plus, that means a senior in high school or older. So even when you're in college each year, you can go back to this website and look for those 12 plus opportunities and continue to use them and apply for them through your years in college. So there are lots of different scholarship opportunities. If you have siblings or friends who are not seniors, you can see some of these go from grade 9 to grade 12. So there are really scholarship opportunities. Here's one from 13 years old to 22 years old. So Pinellas County Schools does a great job of really sending these out. And again, it's updated every month. I tell students to look at scholarships as almost a little part-time job. Mark your calendar. The same day every month, just go in and check out the opportunities and apply for a few of them. You cannot get too many scholarships to go to college because, again, as we talked about at the beginning of the presentation, the costs of attending college go beyond just tuition. You're looking at tuition, you're looking at fees, you're looking at transportation, room and board, books, maybe computers expenses and things like that. So definitely encourage your child, or you if you're the student, to come in and look at all the scholarship opportunities. And I'll give you a little hint. If it requires a little essay, don't not apply, because just an essay, and typically these essays are small, about 250 words. The people that have to review them do not want to read an entire novel. But a lot of times students will not finish the application due to the fact that they need to do an essay. So take the extra time and write out an essay. Save your application essays. There is nothing wrong with using the same essay if it fits the prompt that they're asking you for over and over again. So it's your story, it's your prompt, it's your essay. So I would say if you start applying for scholarships, keep those essays, maybe have your English teacher look through them, but definitely look at all the opportunities to apply. And from there, I will see if there are any questions. It looks like maybe Danica has answered the questions.
There was only a question asking if the presentation and the information would be sent out, and we will be sending out the recording of tonight's video along with any of the links and resources that were shared, as well as the contact information for everybody who presented today. So if you have any further questions or more direct questions, you can always reach out and ask.
And before we get ready to go, and before we ask if there are any final questions, I wanted to share some next steps for you all. Before I get into next steps, I'm sure you all may have noticed that we did not specifically discuss universities. And the reason why we did not do so tonight is because a lot of the universities in the state of Florida have already had their admissions or application deadline passed. However, there are still 3 schools that, if you are really interested in those schools, that still have their application process open. And those schools are the University of Central Florida. Their application closes on May 1st, which is coming up very soon. And then there's also the New College of Florida, as well as the University of North Florida. So those schools, UNF and the New College of Florida, their applications close July 1. However, we always highly recommend that when you are choosing a university, that you really put some time and consideration into the schools that you want to go to and making sure that they're a good fit, and not just that you'll be admitted or admissible. So those are just some things to keep in mind. Outside of that, if you are very dedicated to starting at a 4-year institution, there are schools, well, actually all schools will have a spring application process. So you can definitely reach out to the schools of your choice to see what that deadline is. And we also highly recommend that when you are considering doing the spring, that if you have additional classes that you want to take in the fall, that you reach out to those schools in advance of those classes, just so that the classes that you may take at a community college or a state college do not interfere with the process of applying to the school of your choice or the schools that you're interested in. So we're not saying that universities are not an option. We're just saying that if you are determined to start school in the fall, that Pinellas Technical College and St. Petersburg College are very great options. And we always like to let people know as well that these are not a one and done situation. So if you know that you want to get a short-term certificate, PTC or Pinellas Technical College is a great place to start at. Whenever you are ready to go back to school and get more education, you can go to St. Petersburg College to get an associate's degree, to get more education under your belt to align with the experience that you gain in the workforce. And then if you decide that you want to get a bachelor's degree, either going back to SPC or going into a university to gain even more experience and even more education. So you don't have to pick one now and say, okay, that's it. I can't go somewhere else later. For some people, they want to start in the workforce as soon as possible. And what Mr. Gandolfo said is really important. We talk a lot about education because starting in the workforce without having an educational background or having some sort of an educational attainment is hard. It's not always easy to work your way up and to get to the level of success that you may want to with just having that experience and not having some sort of certificate or having a degree under your belt. So with that being said, the few steps that I have for you all are, one, if you do not know at all what you want to do, that's completely understandable. We don't expect you to. But please take some time, if you have not done so yet, to do what is called an aptitude test. Or if you have done it already, it would be a test that you take or a quiz that you take that gives you some insight into the types of fields that you may be interested in. They usually look at your interests, they look at what you enjoy doing, and they give you careers that fit you and where you belong best, because we all can't be teachers, we all can't be welders. You know, some people are behind the scenes people, some people are in front of the camera people, and we want to make sure that you're going into fields and you're going into programs that will fit you and your desired goals. So once you have an idea of what those programs or those fields are, taking some time to decide if you're planning to go to PTC or Pinellas Technical College or St. Petersburg College or SPC, that you apply. Joven did a great job of explaining the application process for St. Petersburg College, and then there's also an application process that's also pretty simple for Pinellas Technical College as well. So once you've decided, definitely apply. If you have not done so yet, do FAFSA today. There are a lot of programs like Work Study, which is a great opportunity that they give out that funding, and once that funding is gone, they have waiting lists to get more people to have that money or those opportunities. So please take some time to do the FAFSA, even if you think you don't qualify. Do it anyways. There are a lot of scholarship opportunities that are out there that are going to ask if you've done the FAFSA, or they may need that information in order to decide who they can give out scholarships to. And it doesn't mean that if you have a really high expected family contribution that they won't give you the scholarship. It's just a part of their application process. Another step that I would recommend after, deciding which field or which programs you may decide to go into or which school you may want to go to, as well as completing FAFSA, is that if you're interested in any specific program or any resource, that you reach out to that program or resource. So for example, we have Mr. Carbart from Student Support Services, which is a great program. If you're interested in it and if you are eligible for it, I highly recommend that you reach out to them to get enrolled into the program. If you know that you want to go to USF St. Petersburg campus and you're interested in PATHe, please feel free to contact us. And then there's also a way to get into Fuse as well. So utilize those resources that are available to you. And last but definitely not least, if you want any additional support from us as PATHe counselors, we are always available. Whether that is you want to go to Pinellas Technical College or you want to go to New College of Florida, we are here to help. We want to make sure that you get to where you want to go. Our job is not to convince you to go to one school or another. Our job is to help you get to your end goal. And whatever your end goal is, our job to get you there. So I'm going to share some links with you all so that you can get in contact with us. And then I'm also going to share a survey. So please take some time to complete our survey. Let us know how you felt about our workshop tonight, if there are any other programs that you'd like to see from PATHe, and if there are ways that we can make this better. And before we go, because there's one more thing, there's always one more thing, PATHe is hosting the Discover Your PATHe summer event. We will be doing 2 workshops this year. So there will be one in June and there will also be one in August. If you have a sibling, a cousin, a friend, a child that is a rising junior or senior, meaning that they'll be graduating in 2022 or 2023, we will have workshops for them as well as for parents. So I will put that information in our chat as well. So thank you all so much for being here. And if you have any additional questions, we are here to answer them. Unfortunately, Joven, you are too old, but it's not because we don't love you. It's because we know that you have graduated from college.
No.
But if you are ever wanting to go into a graduate program, we can help with that too, unofficially.
Okay, okay. Good news, good news.
Okay, so I've added in the chat our survey. So again, please take some time to complete it for us. And then I also put in our website, which is stpetersburg.usf.edu/PATHe. And on that website, you can find more information about the PATHe 2+2 program. You can find out how to contact us as PATHe counselors, and you can learn more about the Discover Your PATHe program that we're offering this summer. And it's free. We never mentioned that, but it's true. It is free. So please, if you know someone, if you're interested in being a part of it, sign up. We'd love to see you this summer. Oh, and if there are any more questions, we're open to questions as well.